welcome back to more Reddit retail stories. Yes, that's what I was gonna say. If you guys are enjoying this series, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, you know, all that jazz. And then also, guys, if you guys do have retail stories on your own, I do have my own Reddit page. And I'll leave the link in the description below. But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and react to this week's Reddit retail stories. I think this week is like very sus just based off the titles. But yeah, let's go ahead reacting to the first one. You people hide the labels on purpose. Okay. This one is by the Askew one, and this was uploaded a month ago. So I'm on Tales from Retails on Reddit. I'm using those retail stories if you guys are interested to go and check them out. Happened 2 days ago. Customer. Hey, can you help me? I'm looking for famous brand spicy tomato ketchup. The shelf label says there should be some, but it's not where it's supposed to be. Me. Yes, of course. Let me check with you. It's a bit strange because that aisle was being restocked 2 hours ago, but what do I know? I walk up to the aisle with the customer and she starts ges- gesticulating, whatever that means, towards the shelf. Customer, see, it's not where it should be and I can't find it. I look and I see a dozen bottles of famous brand spicy tomato ketchup exactly where they're supposed to be. The first one in the row, though, is turned backwards, and the label faces the back of the shelf. Probably someone took it and put it back the wrong way. I turn it the right way and show her the label, but instead of thanking me, she goes on a rant. Customer, how was I supposed to know what it was? I know you people turned the bottles the wrong way on purpose to confuse people. Ma'am, no, we would never do that. We try and limit interactions with angry customers like you. Oh, oh, well, that's what I wanted to say. Oh, you should have. What I said for real was more like, sorry for the inconvenience. Can I help you with anything else? No, no, you should have said that. Like, ma'am, no, we don't do that. We try and limit interactions with angry customers like you. I would have said that. I know I would have most likely got a warning for it, but that's my reaction. Oh, I wish you said that to the customer. I wish you said that. But yeah, that was chef's kiss. Of course, clearly we don't want to sell the products on the shelves for absolutely no reason. You got us. We turn it around so that people will put more effort into hunting us down than actually turning the item so that we can do more work and waste both our time. Oh, no. They also deliberately rearrange everything as soon as I leave the store. I swear it's a conspiracy. Oh man. Okay, I'll rate this like a 1 because it wasn't that bad. Like, wait, I forgot my own rating system. No, I forgot my own rating system. Okay, 5, it's like when it's really, really bad, and then 1, it's like, when it's not that bad, easily to deal with, and 3 is like in between, it's like, 4, it's like it's bad, but it's not uh, level 5 bad where there's injuries and stuff like that involved, and 2 is like it's not that bad, but it's like getting close to 3, if that makes sense. Okay, I remember my own rating system. Oh my word. I can't believe I forgot my own rating system. Lol. Okay, so this one is a 1 because it's not that bad. But yeah, what do you guys think of this one? Let me know how you would have handled it. And do you wish that this lady said what she wanted to say instead of apologizing for the inconvenience? Oh man, I kind of wish she said that. Oh, that would have been so sus. Oh no, here comes the. You call this a medium? This is not a medium. This is long. That's what she said. I mean, what? Okay, panic because of procrastinating pumpkins. With Halloween coming up, ugh, Halloween. I thought I'd share this cautionary tale for anyone planning on carving pumpkins. Okay. Last year, I was working at a place that sold pumpkins at Halloween. By October 20th, our pumpkins weren't really in good shape. We wouldn't get all of our pumpkins in early to mid September, and they were kept outside in our garden section. Some of them were kept in places where they were covered, but some of them were not, which in hindsight was probably a poor idea. The place I live was very erratic weather, or has very erratic weather. It can snow one day and be very warm the next day. It also tends to start snowing here around October. This means the pumpkins would get snowed on, maybe even get frozen. But the snow or ice would melt pretty either the day or the next day, and they'd be wet while in the sun all day. A lot of the pumpkins we had at the very end of October were pretty rotten and mushy. Ugh, rotten pumpkins, nasty. This story happened the day before Halloween. By that point, we didn't have a lot of pumpkins left because most people get their pumpkins weeks before Halloween. The pumpkins we still did have could be squished on that day. It was really cold and it had snowed fairly recently, and some of the pumpkins were actually frozen solid. Quite a few people were buying last minute pumpkins that day, and a lot of them were pretty unhappy we had no good ones left. There was this one woman who came in with a few kids to get pumpkins. They were outside looking at the ones we had left for a while before they came in. Each kid had their own small pumpkin. The woman seemed a bit frazzled while I was checking her out. I asked the woman how her day had been, and she looked at me looking really upset and mad and said, I've been going on a wild goose chase for moldy pumpkins since I got off work. She told me she and her kids went to a local pumpkin patch to get pumpkins earlier that evening, but there were none there. And they'd gone to another store before us where there were none. She started ranting to me about how her even had been what? How her even had been and about how she expected it be easy to go grab pumpkins. People, grammar, please. Wow. And I just let her because this woman really did look she'd had a tough night. Looked like she'd had a tough night. My word. I can't with this English. Who taught you English? Get your school fees back. I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure I did give her and everyone else getting pumpkins a discount because they were so past their prime. I felt bad for her, but at the same time, you really cannot expect it to be easy to find good pumpkins the day before Halloween. Okay, to be fair, I would rate this a 1 because why didn't you plan ahead of time if you want to celebrate Halloween? And also, if stores run out of pumpkins, then they run out of pumpkins because everybody else, prepared ahead of time, but you didn't. Don't do last minute planning, but anyway, like I said, I'll rate this a 1 because it's a last minute planning thing. Planning didn't go well and stuff like that. So, it's just better planning in the future. But yeah, that was that one. Let me know what you guys think of this one and how would you rate this story. Moving on to the third story. Oh no, this is also a long one. No more price matching. Okay, this one is also a long one, so let me go ahead and drink some water. That was so nice. Wait, I want to see if my model can pick up my face when I do this. Hold on. Psst, psst. Okay, it does, but not so well. Not so well. But at least I can do it. At least I can do it. I don't know how I haven't posted here sooner. I've been working at my local liquor store for a year and some change now. And in my time there, I have been, oh my word, people, grammar, English. Ah, okay, let's try this again. I don't know how I haven't posted here sooner. I've been working at my local liquor store and some, for a year and a bit now. And in my time there, I have had to deal with some really stupid people. Okay. No one is more stupid or infuriating than this one man. Oh no. When I started, our store did price matching to other liquor store chain and a local state specific grocery store, amongst a couple of other places. Josh would come in every couple of months to get 2 to 4 bottles of a specific wine and price match it to local grocery chains. I have dealt with this man at least 10 times in the last year, and he was somehow always my problem. Oh no. And it was the most infuriating experience each time. First encounter, I was still new, so I was watching my coworker, whom I'll call Alex, deal with him. Josh gives Alex a receipt from LGC showing the price of the wines. Alex tells him that we're no longer allowed to accept receipts. I assume because people were bringing in sales prices from months ago, but he'll do it this time. In the future, he needs to just show us the price online. Josh isn't happy about this, but accepts it and moves on. I get to learn how to do price matching. Okay. Second encounter. Josh remembers that we can't take receipts anymore and shows us the price online. I watch as my co-workers, Alex and Blake, explain to him that he's not on LGC's website but on Google, and he needs to click on what he's pointing to actually get in the website. Josh doesn't like this and insists that he's correct. The item he had looked up wasn't even the same item he was trying to buy. While Alex argues with Josh, just trying to get him to click onto LGC's website, Blake just pulls up with the website on our register, which is just a normal computer with our POS program on it. And it's like, I got it. In the future, you should consider downloading the LGC app to make it easier. This man refuses to believe he's incorrect and that Google is LGC's website. He gets his price matched wine and leaves. I'm pretty sure Alex did finally get him to click on it. I watched the whole thing happen and just bit my tongue because after 5 years in a different toxic retail environment, I didn't think it was my place appropriate to step in. Several encounters ensue in which he shows us the app, and every time he feels the need to mention that he can't use receipts anymore, and that we told him to download the app. Cut to a shift in management, and now we cannot accept people showing us apps to get price matches, presumably because people were screenshotting sale prices or because of in app user coupons. And now we need to look up the prices ourselves via the registers. I'm sure that will go over well. Third encounter, and every subsequent one. I've been there for about a half a year now, and Blake no longer works the registers, working a wholesale position in the back of the store. I have the displeasure to inform Josh as he shoves his phone in my face that we no longer accept the app and that we have to look it up ourselves. He's flabbergasted. I explained that I explained what I think the reasoning is behind it, and he's confused. What's a screenshot? You can do that? For the record, this man is at most in his 50s. He is not that old. He then proceeds to go on and on about how we told him he had to get the LGC app, and now we're not honoring that. To add insult to injury, for some strange reason, no one understands the LGC website says the wine is $1 more than it is in the app and in store. I checked. I get to argue with Josh every couple of months for the next year about how our policies has changed and how I don't know why the app and the website have different prices. But I have to go by what the website on my own computer says. He's talked with to every associate in the store, including the manager, who's told him at least twice herself. And he gets the same answer, and he continues to insist that this is messed up because we told him to download the app, and he tells all his friends and family to come to us. At this point, I don't even put on a customer service act with him because I'm so fed up with repeating myself. One time, Alex saw him pull into the parking lot and proclaimed, "Not it," before hiding in an aisle so he didn't have to deal with him. TBF. Okay, I don't know what TBF stands for. I don't blame him. It was always, "as I told you last time, sir." And this man baffled the hell out of me. Why doesn't he just go to the LGC if we're robbing him or whatever he thinks? No one had any clue. In fact, one of my coworkers told me that there was an LGC closer to his house that we were to him. And he still made the drive to our store to argue about price matching. It got to the point where he once said, "Well, I'll remember that for next time." And I almost looked him dead in the face and replied, "I look forward to having this conversation a seventh time." Until July of this year, we received the best news. We were no longer doing price matching. I was ecstatic and prayed that I'd be the one to tell him, and I was. Josh comes in to get his wine. I ring him up and and let me just pull up the LGC app that you guys told me to download. "I'm sorry, sir, but unfortunately we no longer price match as of 2 days ago." He was so upset. He experienced the entire spectrum of human emotion. He went from happy to confused to sad to angry. Pretty sure he went through the stages of grief, but finally he relented, accepting that shit changes, and at least he was getting 10% off for an in-store promotion we have. The day I passed by that wine was stocking and thought, I haven't seen that guy in a while. Maybe he finally stopped shopping here. Nope. He came in the store today and asked me about price matching. My manager was on the register next to me, just watching me like she couldn't believe this was happening. I politely and happily told him again that we stopped price matching a few months ago. He looked so shocked as if he hadn't heard this before. But at this point, I was just so glad I was never going to have to argue with this man again, that my petty ass just enjoyed the look of disappointment of utter betrayal on this man's face. He once again tried to say something about us telling him to download the LGC's app, and I politely reminded him that the last time I saw him, I informed him that if he wasn't using the app for LGC products, he was free to delete it off his phone because we weren't taking it anymore. Ever at all. I had to tell him twice. But I told all my friends and family. I just told my two neighbors. Oh, well, I guess I'll have to tell them the prices went up at the liquor store. They didn't, but okay. Here's your wine. He left in a good mood, if not a little heartbroken, maybe. But whatever. My manager praised me for handling that well, and then we joked about having to have this conversation again in a couple of months, and that I summoned him. To be fair, in my 6+ years of retail experience, Josh is by far not the worst customer I've had, and he's never left the store in a huff. By the end of 99% of the interactions I had with him, he was chipper, and only once did he get angry enough to yell. I still dislike him though. There was even one time we were out of his wine, but he insisted I check the magical round that is the back. And he realized after a year of interactions that I had the same name as his mother. I said I'd go check the bag, and he laughed and said, "Okay, thanks, Mom." I texted our work group that immediate chat immediately and said I would never help him again. Updates. Josh came back in today. He didn't say a word about about price matching or LGC or anything. We talked about the pork chops he was cooking and how some people use wine in cooking, a concept that seems to escape him. It was refreshing, and I feel like a cycle has been broken. Lol. Okay, I would rate this like a 2 or 3 because I'm sorry if you tell a customer, hey, listen, you need to download this app. You can't use Google because of price matching, da 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 da. And then the next day, tell him, oh, okay, we're no longer using the app. You have to check on our computer. And if the customer keeps asking you why, and you keep giving him the same answer of like, oh, the policy's just changed, then obviously the customer is going to get irritated and annoyed. So what I would have done if I was this guy, I would have asked head office and be like, listen, we have customers complaining about the fact that they were forced to download the LGC apps for price matching, and now they are told they can't do this anymore, and they want to know why. Can you give us can you maybe give us an explanation or reason why these changes are being made, so that we can tell our customers about these reasons so we can stop getting complaints and our customers can stop fighting with us? Like, can we maybe just get a reason for it? I get that, like, maybe the LGC head office or whatever was closer to where Josh stayed, but I don't think customers can just walk into head office and just be like, da 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 da. I don't think that's allowed. I think they've got security to prevent things like that from happening. So all I'm saying is, if you guys want to go check it out, if you guys are changing things in your store, and the customers are so used to things being one way, and all of a sudden there's a change, no warning, no heads up, no emails being sent out, nobody phoning them letting them know that these changes are being made, no notices being put up on the store windows saying, hey, these changes are happening. You cannot expect your customers to be all happy chappy or happy clappy about these changes. And when they ask for a reason why these changes are being made, then they should be given a reason why, not just a generic answer. They might not be happy about with the reasons why, but at least they've got the reasons why instead of being given a generic answer and um feel like they idiots or feel like they are made to be dumb because it's a generic answer. Because I'm sorry, if I ask why things are happening and stuff like that, and somebody gives me a generic answer, then it's like you're treating me as if I'm stupid and that I can't comprehend how things work. And don't give me a generic answer, give me an actual reason. So yeah, I don't agree with this retailer getting annoyed with Josh, but I am glad at the end, things got sorted out, and, things were like came to an end and it got sorted in the end and stuff like that. But guys, if you're working in retail, or if you are planning to open up your own store and turn it into a franchise and whatnot, if you make changes in your store, let your customers know and let them know why the changes are being made. Don't just make changes. Don't do that. Okay, but yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go head off to the fourth story. Let me know what you guys think of this one. Let me know what you guys think of this one. Spicy apple juice. Oh, this was a couple of years ago, but is still one of my favorite stories to tell about working in retail for a grocery store. 21 meters. As an assistant, oh, Okay, I don't care about your height, whatever. I, as an assistant manager, was moving around the store, putting out fires as we were just getting out of lunch rush and we're still pretty busy. As some background knowledge, we often have vendors set up their stations in our store to offer samples and sell products, which can include alcohol. One such vendor was setting up his station for whiskey towards the back of the store and happened to leave some of the product out as he was talking with some customers. Now, normally this isn't an issue, and most alcohol products come with sensors or locks to help prevent theft, unlawful use, but since this vendor intended to use them for sampling, they were unlocked. This vendor also helped. This vendor also happened to choose to set up their stapling spots up next to one of the blind spots for the cameras. Now, as I'm going from different points of the store, trying to bring about an order to chaos, I get a call on my radio from a fellow assistant manager to meet him at the self checkout. I make my way to find them with a customer who is buying a few items and a slightly less than full treetops apple juice gallon jug with the cap off. Now I know this fellow manager very well, as he wouldn't call me over for anything he couldn't handle, or on the off chance he found a situation incredibly funny. Now, for those not paying attention, oh my word, this says, again, now, for those not paying attention, this customer had decided he was going to come in, empty the apple juice in the bathrooms, take the sample bottle of whiskey while the vendor wasn't looking. Empty them into the container in the blind spot next to the vendor and try to buy the gallon jug of apple juice at self checkout. We had a quick laugh about it and had the customer escorted out and went about our day. Okay, so I'm sorry, but that's just the vendor's stupidity. Like, that is poor planning. Again, poor planning, guys. I think I know the title for this week's video. Poor planning and sus. No, not sus. It's like poor planning and sarcastic. I'll come up with something. I'll come up with something. But hey guys, plan better. Plan better. Like look at the rules and don't be in a place where there's blind spots for camera. Be in a place where, the camera can see everything. Don't 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 do this to yourself. Don't do this to yourself. But anyway, moving on to our last story for this week. There we go. Your poor planning is not my emergency. Think I like this one. I was reminded of this interaction that happened a month or so ago and thought you all would appreciate it. I was scheduled to open the store had arrived 15 to 20 minutes early. As I head to the bathroom to change, I hear someone try to open the locked door, followed by knocking on the window. I ignore it and change. There's knocking again. When I come out of the bathroom, I still ignore it and wait in the back until it's time to open. I've barely made it back to the counter when a customer comes in holding a plastic bag of papers. I need these shredded and I need you to go fast. I have an appointment at 10 a.m. It is currently. Oh, okay. I have them set the papers on the scale and I get the weight. I ring the total up. That'll be 525. They make a scandalized scarf. So expensive. Can you give me a discount? No. Have a good day. Huh. Okay, this one is head scratching. Actually, I'm gonna leave this one for the viewers to comment on and how they would rate this and how would they handle this because I don't know, like I mean, when I worked at the bookstore, there were times where we did open up early for customers, because they were in a rush for something, or they asked nicely and whatnot and stuff like that. Like, they wouldn't bang on the door, they would just knock on the door. They asked if we were open, and we'd be like, sorry, no, we open at 9. And some of them would ask, they would be like, listen, like, did this, and this, can I just come in so I can buy this and whatnot? And then sometimes our manager, depending on the customer, how rude they were or how nice they were or whatever, my manager would open up a little bit early for them so they can come in and get done what they needed to get done. So I think, like, you should just use your judgment in this one, and just showing a little bit of empathy towards people. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt your business. And if you took just like 5 seconds to open up the door for them, you could have made an extra sale for that day. That customer would have most likely gone to other people and be like, these people are so nice. They care about their customers, and da 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 da. And the, your store would have gotten more business, or if you are working for somebody, they would have gotten more business, which possibly could have increased your salary. But I don't know. I don't know. I think you could have just checked to see what was going on. Like, I mean, say now there was an emergency. Say now she was running from somebody. Say now, um, she needed water, or say now there was somebody, maybe she needed you to phone somebody because there's been an accident or whatever. So I think, just even if you don't open early yet, if somebody's knocking on your door or whatever, um just try and find out what that person wants, or what that person needs, especially if you're a store and stores for the public. Just, it's not going to hurt you to be like, hey, what's going on and whatnot. I get that you have to be careful and things like that, but I'm pretty sure you will know, if a person is trying to rob you, or if a person is like really in genuine need of help. I don't think being like this is, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Should she have been a little bit more empathetic and helped out a bit, or should she have acted the way she did? And, like, again, like, it's a very difficult thing. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's retail stories. And I'm just gonna say, until next time, bye.